Did a whole bunch of consulting for companies like Chewy, Klaviyo, Dakwa, which is an awesome boating app that's 100% founded by ex-HubSpotters.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, like the John Negro, who's the guy that I worked with really closely at HubSpot, Jeremy Crane, who is our VP of product, went off to found this thing, which is, think of it as like hotel reservations for your boat, right? If you're going to take your boat from you're moored in Boston, you want to go to Nantucket, you've got to book yourself moorings along the way. You jump on the Dakwa app, beautiful. It's just a very, very cool piece of technology. And it's a whole bunch of ex-HubSpotters. So I got a chance to help those guys build like a talent acquisition program, help them define like what does recruiting mean, and a whole bunch of other companies. And it was a blast. But had always thought about how do we get back to this HubSpot ecosystem, right? How do we get back to this space that so resonated with me? And Megan and I did an experiment. Full candor.
Love it.
Full candor. We actually started with another idea. We started with an idea of we think we're going to be a really directly focused engineering organization, probably in Boston, probably in startups. That's where my network is, and then grow it from there. And what we realized really quickly was we needed a better niche. Like, can you pass this much higher bar exam of your skill?
Wow.
It's wild how HubSpot has spun off this whole ecosystem. Like, we are a function of this ecosystem. There are other companies that are saying like, we're going to take HubSpot Academy to the nth degree and say, okay, if you can get this certification, cool, that's step 1. How do you get through step 10?
Wow.
Right? It's just become this whole like ecoscape of just really cool, really interesting mastery points.
Love it. Love it. Yeah. I'm not a certifications guy by any means. Like, I am the person who, that piece of paper, like I didn't even graduate college. Like, I'm just like, I went into the working world and I just started doing shit. Like, I just wanted to know that I could do things. Like, I get it. I know a lot of these systems, people are paying a lot of money and, all this, but man, it's just sometimes like sitting here, my ADD kicks in as soon as I start going through that video. And I'm just like, I can't do this. I can't. I tell myself it's a problem that I tell myself I can't do this because I just don't want to do it.
I think you should like have a seat at the table for sure.
Yeah.
But it doesn't mean anything if you don't have the experience. I mean, it's the classic like person coming out of, a bunch of years of college and then straight into an MBA and they don't have any business experience. And they come out and every textbook, which you just can't. It's just not the real world.
Not agree more, yeah.
But in addition to it, I think there's some value in certain certifications. I can speak to that though. I mean, I've been in the PM world for about 10 years and I'm just now getting around to getting my PMP, and I'm just like, I know all this, but it's a good refresher. So,
yeah.
I think there's value in it.
Yeah, there's definitely value. I'm not against it, but I'm also
there's value. Yeah. There's value in a bunch. There's for sure value in certs.
Right.
But it can't be, especially in our world. It's not a clear cut like this person is an expert or not. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like a lot of companies that we interact with initially say, if you've got this thing, you must be great, and if you don't, you must not be great. It's not a binary thing, right? It's like, is it a cool indicator that you spent some time? Sure. Mm-hmm. But let's call it what it is. You can spend 4 hours on a Saturday, get some certification and still not have a goddamn clue how to operate in the HubSpot platform. Mm-hmm. And that's what we run into all the time. And I feel like a huge part of our value add is like, we're going to help you, client, whoever we're working with, understand how to weed those people out. The people who like are really good at interviewing, have the buzzwords, understand what to say, but can't do the thing. Like our whole world is like, here are a bunch of people who can truly do the thing.
Mm-hmm.
Do you guys have some sort of guarantee when you place somebody in terms of like structure of days, like 90 days, like we guarantee this for?
Yeah. It's 60, but that's an incredibly important part of the whole thing.